Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am here with part two. I promised you guys that I will come back and I will do a part two on Confessions of a Female Dating Site Junkie, part two. So I am back. My word is my bond. If you are new to my channel, feel free to go ahead on and subscribe. Okay, like, share, and comment. I come to you with real life experiences, things that I've been through, things that I've experienced. Nothing that I talk about is based off of nothing but experience for me. Okay. So for those of you who do not know me, I am Chantel Barber and I am new to YouTube, and I just want to get some things out there for people to grab hold to. Some very helpful tips. Okay. So if you looked at my last video, first and foremost, go check out my last video, okay? Because without that last video, you're not going to be able to catch up on what's going on right now, okay? Okay, so I've already did a part one to the dating site junkie confession bedroom chronicles. I already did a part one. So go ahead on and check that video out real quick and then come back here and then you can pretty much get an understanding of what I've been talking about and everything like that. So go ahead on and and look at that video, check that video out, and then come on back here and you'll get a taste of what's been cooking in my bedroom this morning. Okay, so in my last video, I spoke to you about how I have fell into basically an addiction. I became a Facebook. I mean, not a Facebook. I'm sorry. I became a dating site junkie. Okay. It all started back in 2014, and so moving forward with a lot of the things that I experienced, I talked about a little bit how was involved with a guy who we were in a relationship but wasn't in a relationship, and how basically I was trying to curve myself with the ideal of feeling like if I can grab hold to a website that I can have access to multiple men that keep me entertained, then I didn't have to worry about that one particular guy that I really truly cared for. It was one of those things where in the beginning it was all fun and game. Okay. When I jumped back on it, I convinced myself that if I helped God help me, then He will send me a husband. If I put myself out there for Him to be able to send me a husband. Toward the middle of it, not the middle, but like shortly after that, like falling behind, if I had to fall in line right behind that, I would say it became a joke to me. Entertainment / joke. Now I am still currently with does have a profile set up with Facebook. That's my only dating site profile that I am currently active on right now. Glory be to God. That may not sound like a glory be to God moment, but for those of you who don't know how it was for me at first, will not be able to relate or understand why I'm grateful for just one profile dating site at this very moment. I spoke on my last video also about how I always kept more than one. I always kept more than one. I always felt like it was necessary that I keep more than one. Having just this one right now is a blessing. And the crazy part about it is, I so check it out. So with this site, if you checked out my last video, you have any knowledge of how the Facebook, speaking from this particular profile, because this is the current profile that I am currently on. This is the only dating site I am on. So speaking from this dating site, if you are aware of how it works, or if you're not aware of how it works, basically, if you don't have the Facebook dating app, you cannot connect to the dating site. If you log on Facebook just through the internet, you do not have any access to the dating site. And I learned that by accident on purpose, if that make any sense. Like, I didn't have the amp for a while because it was taking up space on my one of my devices, and I have like I have more than one device, okay? And so at the time, I had broke my tablet. My portal piece broke in the inside of it, and I took it to the shop and they couldn't replace it because it was completely broken. So I wasn't able to get it repaired. So I wasn't able to click on the amp for Facebook because I didn't have the amp on my other phones. I just only had it on my tablet, and I wasn't able to get on my tablet. So I felt like that was a breath of fresh air for me, because despite the fact that I had became a really bad junkie to dating sites, I was in the process of trying to pull away from it. Um, and God knew that. God knew that. Okay. So what I ended up doing was I was only going through Facebook through the regular internet off of my phone. And so for those of you who previously watched my other video, I spoke on how I'm only on Facebook when we have a Bible study, Wednesday night Bible study, and Sunday school, adult Sunday school on Sunday mornings. So those are the only two times that I was at, because Facebook is not something that I have to have in my life. Like, I can run away from Facebook quicker than I can a dating site, honestly. But because this site is connected with Facebook, it kept me connected with Facebook, which I didn't want to be connected with Facebook. So I was trying to find a way to satisfy myself and have the best of both worlds, because I had a problem with being on a dating site and communicating with me. And it was all about the communication for me. Okay. And the crazy part about it was a lot of these guys did not meet my standards as a God-fearing man, or as that man that I solely desired in my heart and that God knew that I wanted and was looking for. Because see, he said he'll give us the desires of our hearts if we delight ourselves in him. And I was not even going that route. I was all over the place. Do you hear me? I was just like convincing myself that, okay, well, if I just do a little bit of this, then he could be this, or if I do a little bit of that, excuse me, you guys, he can do this. And it was almost like I was trying to build a man, like Build a Bear. Who remember Build a Bear? I know you guys remember Build a Bear. I was trying to build a man based off of a simple profile that you pull up off of a um social media platform. Now, it's bad enough that we can't even take social media serious. So why would anybody, and I'm talking about myself, okay? Don't get me wrong. I am not here to cross judgment on anybody that's viewing this video. I'm speaking in general when I say, if how can anybody take something that's connected to a social media platform serious, when a lot of times we can't even take social media serious, okay? And so, but here I was trying to build this man. So I'm on this profile. And it was so crazy, you guys, because I would literally go on there, and a lot of times I wouldn't even go on Facebook. I would, like, once I did reinstall the Facebook Messenger, I can't really remember why exactly I reinstalled it, but I had to reinstall it for something. But I was trying to be strong, and I was like, I'm not going to get on this Facebook date. I'm not going to get on Facebook date. And I was trying to stay strong, and I kept telling myself, I'm not going to get on it. I'm not going to get on it. And, you know, it shows, it's like a part of your notification bell. So it's underneath the heart for those of you who are not familiar with it, once again. And if you click on it, it tells you how many people like you, how many people you matched up with, and you have all these different men or women and that are coming through, and they are saying, comment on your pictures, you're so beautiful, this and that. And I have experienced so many, and it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Once again, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. And that's what it was for me. That's why I was a junkie, because I was overly indulging in something that I knew was not healthy for me, because at the end of the day, it wasn't even getting me anywhere. I'm still single. Hello. I mean, not to put it out there or anything like that, to, you know, for those of you men who are single on here watching this video or anything like that, not to put it out there to that extent, but I'm just trying to build a case here. I am still very much single, Okay. And once again, on my other video, I spoke to a lot of you guys about how I've had the Facebook dating site app since the beginning of January of 2020. So it's going on 2 years. I've had this pro platform. And crazy part about it is that I would go on there a lot of times and I would just change all of, because I think it give you like a selection of like 7 pictures. I would change all of my pictures. I would repost different pictures. It was even at one point when I had hopped off for like maybe like 3 4 months, and then I was like, oh, I changed my bio, and I was like, for those of you who haven't previously viewed my bio, I've changed it, and blah 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 this, and I'm putting all these, and I'm just putting some things on my bio, and I changed all of my pictures. Now, just recently, about 8 months ago, if you guys could see, I locked up my hair. It is actually fully locked now. It's been almost 9 months. And so just recently, I changed every picture that's on my profile on the Facebook dating site to all pictures with my locks. So none of them doesn't have any other pictures but besides my pictures with just me and my locks. And so if I really fight with you, what I would usually do is, because once again, I did not really too much care for Facebook, and I was trying to crave my appetite. I was trying to do something that was fulfilling for me, that I thought was fulfilling for me, without having to be in the full midst of the situation, if that make any sense. It's almost like dipping my feet in the water because I want them to get wet, but not putting them all the way down in there, like submerging them all the way in there, but just like dabbing them in there just a little bit, just to feel a little bit of water touch them. It was almost like that's what I was doing, because I would take so many different so many group of guys that I vibe with. Maybe after the first 15-20 minute conversation, I'm like, okay, I vibe with him. I'll send him to my Facebook Messenger, and I'll say, I'll be on Facebook like that, so you can hit me up on my messenger. My name is Chantel Barbara, and we can talk from there, this and that. Usually it would be about 2 or 3 guys, maybe at the most. But just recently I had about 7 guys, 7 different guys in my messenger. I literally had to put like more than half of them in my ignore box. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably are not familiar with the ignore box. A lot of you are probably is, but I'll show you exactly what I mean by the ignore box. And it's crazy because I want it, but didn't want it. And it was like, honey, make up your mind. What do you want? Now, the good part about Facebook and how it works and all of this and all of that is Facebook dating, or dating sites in general, or whatever. The good part about it is that I got a chance to experience or meet a lot of different men from a lot of different cultures, a lot of different nationalities. I got a chance to learn some things about them, what they like, how they operate, how they move, what they look for, their personalities. I got a chance to be, and that's a beautiful thing. So it's not all bad. Being able to learn a lot of different cultures and nationalities, and all of those different things really stood out to me. But it was crazy because it was never not a moment where I wasn't talking to a man off of a dating site. Okay, the reason why I am speaking more so on Facebook dating, I'm not downplaying it, okay, but the reason why I'm speaking so more now about it is because, once again, it's the only profile that I have set up now at this current moment. The rest of them, I just uninstalled the amps. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if my profile is still sitting there. I can't tell you if they did. They're super old, over a year old, granted. But I ended up. I just recently got laid off from my job, a little over a month ago. And when they say the idle's brain is the devil workshop, honey, it definitely is. I approve that message. And despite I was going through some things, and I was dealing with some anxiety issues, and depression has set in a little bit, and that's the reason why, if you go into some of my other videos, you'll see I was talking about anxiety, because I did slip into I did have some anxiety that had came over me shortly after I was laid off from my job. And in the process of that, I began to want to feel a void once again, craving some attention from some type of a man, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Jamaican, African. It didn't matter. As long as you was giving me some attention, you was coming over to my messenger side. And that's just what it was for me. But a lot of the people I gave the benefit of a doubt to, because I knew that they wasn't supposed to make it past the Facebook dating messenger part of the site, but I brought them over there just to keep them on standby. So if I necessarily didn't like, a lot of them say they single and this and this and this and that, and this is with any dating site. This is not just with Facebook. This is with any dating site. A lot of them will tell you one thing and then it'll be a whole different other life. They be like, this one dude told me out of his own mouth just recently. I was just recently talking to him that. And I actually ended up hooking up with him on, like, not hooking up, like meeting him, but we ended up exchanging numbers and we're talking through our mobile devices on some occasions. And then some occasions we'll talk through the Facebook Messenger, or Facebook Messenger was more so to make sure you wasn't a catfish. I need to video chat you so you can see that I'm not a catfish and I can see that you're not a catfish. And that pretty much was the sum of that. If we wanted to video chat more after that, then we could, because it was an option, but it was only to, okay, I'm feeling you. I think you're decent. Yeah, man, I'm liking your bio. Your picture seems to be nice. I'm digging you, this and that. Your conversation is cool. Okay, let me shift you over here to the messenger side. Let's video chat after maybe 72 hours of conversating through messenger. And let's see, set up a virtual date, if that's what you want to call it. And let's go ahead on with the flow of things and see how things go. And see if you're really who you say you are in your pictures, and from you to for me, for you. And that's that. And a lot of them, I actually honestly knew, you guys, like, honest to God, that they wasn't even worth coming to my messenger side, because immediately I got very much creepy, weird vibes from some of them. Not to mention, I would put them directly on ignore the minute I would give them my Facebook name for messenger. I would put them on ignore. I would say something to them, they would say something back. I would throw them on ignore, and I would say, I'll talk to you when I'm ready to talk to you. If I'm bored and I feel like I want to click on my ignore button and see if you said something, I'll come to and say, oh, I'm just now seeing this, and my bad, how was your day, or whatever they say. I'll come back with that same approach. They say, how was my day? I'll say, how my day was good. How was yours? I apologize, I'm just now seeing this, this and that, which I was just now seeing it because you were on my ignore side of the fence with Messenger. And it's so sad, to a certain degree, the type of technology that we're able to, that we have nowadays in this society. And it's in so many ways we can do things without people knowingly knowing we're doing it. And it's just too many tricks. Technology, social media, and all of that is just so much. Oh my God, it's so much. It's deep. Okay, for example, this is the Facebook thread right here. Okay, if you click up there where it says chat by your face, you click on that, you'll go down to message requests. You see where it says message request? You click on message request. You see where it says you may know. You're going to click on the spam. Not the you may know, but the spam. And on the spam, it's going to show all of the people that you put on ignore. That's how you put them on ignore. That's how you check and see if they messaged you back while they're on ignore, etc., etc. And so usually when I put you on ignore, it's because of one or two things. Because I'm just trying to play hard to get. And I don't want you to think that I'm just in a rush to message you back. Even though I might be bored and I might not have nothing going on right now at that very moment. Yes, I do have kids and I have things that I do. And I am very active in a lot of things in my life. But we do have our bored moments. Everybody do. Everybody just do. And so if I'm bored and I say, hey, you know what? Let me see if he hit me up right real quick. And it could have been just hit me up like 10 minutes prior to that. I'm like, I was on, it only been 10 minutes. He can wait. But if I seen he hit me up like 3-4 hours ago, I'm like, oh, I'm just not seeing this, this and that, woo, woo. And I'm talking to him, have a conversation. And so right now, every single one of the dudes that I just recently, not too long ago, put over here to my ignore side of the messenger are all still sitting there. All of them are still sitting there. And I'm such a junkie with it. I want it, but I don't want it. It's like a kid. It's like eyes being bigger than your stomach. You know how back in the day our parents used to be like, you don't gonna eat all that. Your ass just bigger than your stomach. I ain't finna entertain all these dudes. My ass was just bigger than my stomach. I mean, my eyes was just bigger than my intentions. Like, I really just seen you and was like, oh, you cute. You know, your profile seemed decent. Your bio seemed decent. Your pictures is decent. You know, and I used to have standards with that. That's another thing. Like, I literally had a whole list of things that you had to be either involved with, is doing, was something. It was like a list of things in order for me to even click on the match button to you. But I'm the junkie, right? How dare I have standards as far as what I want when I'm up on five different, at one point in my life, five different dating sites at one time. And I have the audacity, yes, me, has the audacity to say, oh, I don't want to talk to you today. I'm putting you on ignore until I feel like talking. I'm the reason why you're sitting over there. I brought you to this side of my life as far as messenger, and I have the audacity because it's not what I really want. It's a temporary fix. It's a temporary fix for me. And if I'm honest and I'm transparent, it was only a temporary fix. It was a temporary fix. It is a temporary fix for me to be able to have some forms of a conversation with a man so that I can be able to say, I got somebody I'm communicating with, just to keep my, I guess, day or week or month going for the most part outside of my everyday life. Okay. And it was bad, you guys. It was really bad. And so like I say, right now I'm currently at about, I can give you an exact count. Okay, he's not on ignore, which I don't know why. So yeah, he gotta go on ignore. And I'm not even doing this to honestly like put on the front or anything. I literally am putting somebody on ignore like right now. And I wish I could make this up to you, but I'm really not making this up. Um, So right now I have one. Well, he don't count. 1, 2, 3, 4. He blocked me. 5, 6, 7, 7 guys on ignore. 7 guys, and I actually have more, but those are the most recent ones that I was recently just talking to through Facebook dating that I have actually done placed on ignore. Okay, and I met a guy that's on ignore, but I didn't meet him through Facebook dating. I was looking for somebody on Facebook one night, and any the guy that I was looking for. If anybody that knows when you're searching for somebody, if you're looking for a junior or a senior or anything with the last name Bob or Carrie, anything like that, they're gonna give you every ounce of a person that they think you can, because Facebook they work hard to make sure that you find who you're looking for, stay connected. They will even remind you that somebody sent you a friend request. Y'all know I ain't lying. They will even remind you that somebody's, don't forget such and such sent you a friend request. You'd be like, okay, you know. So they really do work their number to keep people connected, and I appreciate that. That's a blessing for the ones who I really want to stay connected with. Just like they do the opposite and make it, they work their numbers to help you stay disconnected. Because even if you don't want to be friends with them on Messenger, you can be friends with them on Facebook, or you don't have to be friends with them on Facebook, but you can be friends with them on Messenger. But while you're friends with them on Messenger, you can put them on ignore and pretend like they're not there, what they really are. So it's all just this big old, it's just social media, okay? That's just the way social media works, honey, okay? Listen, I promised you guys I wasn't gonna be before you long, okay? But just a few more things. So with that being said, I put all of these guys on ignore, knowingly knowing I want conversation, right? But one of the guys, I met him off of Facebook. Like I said, I was looking for somebody, and his name popped up, and he wasn't the person I was looking for. But to make a long story short, I was scrolling down his timeline, and I seen we had like 16 mutual friends, right? So I was digging some of his statuses. I'm like, oh, they either funny or they was real. They both draw me in. Like, man, either he speaks the real stuff, or he being funny. And I like a sense of humor, and I like some honesty of being transparent. I didn't want to seem like a creep or a weirdo and just be hitting the like button or sharing his posts and stuff, and I'm not even his friend or whatever. So I went on and took it upon myself to send him a friend request. Why? Because 90% of the time when a woman sends a man a friend request and they don't appear to be a catfish, and they got over 3,000, and I love the camera. If you guys will follow me on Instagram, you will see that I love I love pictures. And go follow me on Facebook. I love pictures. I'm a picture person. I love to take pictures. So you're gonna definitely not know. You're gonna definitely know I ain't no catfish when you get to looking at all of my pictures, starting from 10 years ago when I first got a Facebook page. But nevertheless, um, so in having 16 mutual friends, and of course I'm not an ugly chick, and seeing that I'm not a real person, he was real quick to accept my friend request, which I kind of had a feeling that he was. Okay. And so immediately I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can hit the like button on your pictures. Now I can, da 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 da, and I ain't gotta feel like I'm being, a creep. Because for me, that's creepy stuff. I'm sorry, it's just a creep for me. And so immediately he hopped in my inbox, and we get to talking, we get to chabbing up, and I ain't gonna get too into details about it. But to make a long story short, he's very arrogant. A very arrogant, very good looking man. And that's another thing. Like, I run into so many different men I've learned, oh my God, once again, this whole dating site, have been a junkie to the dating site world in general, has taught me so much, you guys. I promise you, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. I've learned some things. I think that I've learned a little bit too much, because now I'm overly secure about me. And I think that's the reason why I need to just push away from it altogether. And I'm praying on it. And I pray y'all pray for me. I pray for y'all. Because when it starts to get to a point where you can't even keep up, that's a problem. And despite the fact that we may pretend like it's not, it's a problem. It is a problem. I can't even I put a lot of them on ignore, not just because they coming off being creepy, or they're I'm not no longer vibing with them, or I'm picking up that they want something different than what I was looking for, or something like that. But a lot of times I put them on ignore because it's just simply an overwhelming thing. One day I sent pictures to one dude, trying to send them to another dude just to show him random pictures of me. Not I don't do all that naked picture stuff. I'm too grown for that. Just random pictures of me, outside of the ones that they see on my profile. And I sent them to another guy, trying to send it to him. And I voice clipped him and was like, I don't know. I said something about the picture. He was like, I didn't get no picture, and I had to play it off. And I'm like, see, if I wasn't trying to, I'm not even, first of all, I don't even know how to juggle 5,000 things like that at one time. That doesn't mean me any good. The only thing that I need to be trying to stay focused on with juggling back and forth is things that actually mean me some good. And that stuff don't mean me no good. It don't. So, knowing I am a woman of God, once again, and I do make mistakes, and I am not perfect, and I do have flaws, and I am woman enough to come on here today and tell the whole world, because just because I don't have no subscribers right now, don't mean that I'm not putting this out there for the whole world to see. And I am confident enough that when it's all said and done, I will grab hold to enough people to be able to feel what I'm coming from. Amen. And I'm not downplaying anybody, and I'm not downplaying myself, but I know it's not that serious. It's not, because I know what God is capable of doing in our lives, through us and for us. And so I feel like God has allowed me to go through this season in my life when I'm able to come on here and express these things to you guys to help you guys get over. Because if I can reach one, teach one. I was always told one can chase 1,000 and two can chase 2,000 to a flight. So if I can draw you in to get you to understand that God is able, and it don't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to get involved with trying to, that's just our flesh. That's just our flesh. That's just pleasing the flesh. That's just trying to please the flesh. Let's just be honest. We're just pleasing our flesh. Our flesh is so spoiled. My pastor said all the time, our flesh is so, oh my God. Oh my God. It's freaking spoiled to a point where we always want to feed it something, whether it's entertainment or it's this or it's that. It's always something we want to feed it to try to, you know, satisfy us as human beings because we are human. But we know that our flesh don't mean us no good. Our flesh is the devil's running buddy. So um we have to stay connected, and we have to stay aware of when the devil is trying to come through and prey on our weakness. What is a weak spot for us? And having a man in my life and wanting and yearning companionship and wanting to have somebody that I can say is mine and he could say is his and click, take a picture, click, and posted it on, social media and saying, I love him, he love me. Those are the type of things that I yearn for. And because of that, that's the way the devil comes in and be able to try to grab hold to our flesh because he tries to convince us that there's nothing wrong with it. But by all means, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So yes, there is something wrong with it if you're doing it in a fleshly way where you got 7 different men on your messenger box for no reason. So we have to be mindful of that. Once again, this is your girl Chantel coming in with another video. I just wanted to give you guys a part 2. And if I might do a part 3, I might not, depending on how God lead me. But I just want you guys to stay encouraged. I want you guys to continue to let the Lord lead you. And God is capable and he's able of doing anything we want in life. So we just have to stay connected to him. His will is what's best for us. We don't want to get too caught up in the world that we forget that who God is, because like I said, the devil will have us out here trying to steal us from our blessings, rob us from our blessings, because we so busy trying to please, our flesh, that we forget that the real thing we need to be doing is pleasing God. Because if it's not pleasing in the sight of God, then it's not no good for us. And Lord knows, God knows that 8 and 9, and it's crazy, y'all. And I know a lot of people probably thinking, but you're so beautiful, this and that and this. And I get that all the time. And even a lot of my male friends that I know, excuse me, from around the way, from where either I grew up with them or ex boyfriends that I'm just really, really still cool with, or friends that I've met out here in this community, or whoever. A lot of them say, Chantel, but you don't need no dating site, girl. You this and that. And I'll be like, but I just convinced my soulmate it's not here. And, this and this and that. And I'm finding all these different excuses as to why I feel like I needed to have a profile set up on different dating sites, when in reality, all I need is the Lord. And he said that he would give me my heart desires if I delight myself in him. And so I wasn't delighting myself in the Lord. I was delighting myself on dating sites. And I was giving all my time and attention to the dating sites. And I wasn't giving God my time. Now God has shifted gears with me. And he has shown me some things. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. Oh, baby, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to steer away from it because I have gotten so immune to it. It's almost like a drug. So it really, seriously, in all honesty, it's been an emotional roller coaster for me, with just trying to stay content with not converting back to a dating site. And despite the fact that I haven't been on there in probably like a week, that's only because I've been getting the attention from another guy that's on there. That's the only guy that I was vibing with that caught my attention. Why he did, I don't know. On a looks 6.5, the body a 10. Okay. Good job. I'm saying, very well stable, this and that. But he told me something. He told me something. And what he told me really threw me off. He said him and a girl that he been knowing since about the 5th grade. And he's 40, so they've been knowing each other pretty much all their lives. Have a sexual relationship, and they've been in a sexual relationship for about 1.5 years. And he said that anytime they need to they want to have sex, they just text each other, hit each other up, and and say, let's have sex, basically. And I'm sorry, you guys gotta excuse me. And he said when they get ready to, hook up with each other, they do their thing, and then if they decide to go and become intimate with someone else, they they do it. They do their thing with somebody else, but they'll call each other up and say, "Hey, look, I got laid last night or whatever. I did this with this chick I met or with this dude I met," and they'll go get tested to make sure that they're in the clear and bring the paperwork back to each other if they were to hook up with somebody else outside of each other, to show each other that, okay, I did go become lay up with somebody else, but here's my paperwork showing that I'm in the clear and that I don't have anything. I was like, so why aren't you guys in a relationship? And he said because she's going from a previous relationship, a previous marriage, basically, and she's done one relationship. And I'm like, huh? But as I started to talk to him more, I started to be able to recognize that it's more to that than what he's telling me. Okay. And so that's the reason why I say, you know, this stuff, it ain't what it's all crapped up to be. You can't take nobody serious. Everybody got their own motives. And I even spoke on my last video on part one about, even if it's a Christian dating site, that doesn't necessarily mean that the person is a Christian because they're on a Christian dating site and they're telling you they're a Christian. That's just what's drawn. They doing whatever they can to draw you in because that's just what the world is full of: manipulation and um, you know, manipulation and control. And however way they feel like they can get you draw in, they're gonna do whatever they can, especially if there's something you want. They want. You're something they want. So we have to stay mindful of that. I just thank God for who He is. I thank God for giving me the opportunity to be able to speak about it and get it out there and get it openly out there so that I can heal from it. I can move forward. And so God can eventually bring that man that's for me in my life. Because one thing about God is, before He don't let His word go out and turn void. He said before it go out and return void, it'll accomplish that thing. And you know, God, what God puts together, can't nobody pull asunder. So can't nobody come against that, no matter how hard they try. So set myself up for me, speaking for me, on different websites for different dating sites to try to draw in somebody to potentially say, she looked like she could be my wife, is not the way to go for me. And I'm not downplaying anybody once again who decides they want to do that, but I know that God is God got it all figured out in due time. So we just got to stay consistent, stay prayerful, stay with the word, stay believing as Christian believers and followers, men and women of God, and God will take care of the rest. Amen. Once again, my name is Chantel Barber, and this is Confessions of a Female Dating Site Junkie, Bedroom Chronicles Part 2. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. If you are new here, please feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, share, and comment. I will be back soon with more videos and to just check in with you guys and see how you guys are doing. Just and always remember, I love you with the God kind of love. And you guys have a wonderful day. I love you guys. See you later. Bye.